Hello, you've reached the voicemail box of Peter Abelard. At the tone, please give me your name and number with a short message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
Hey Peter, the other day one of your friends sent me a screenshot of your text to one another, and I thought it was going to help me feel better, but it was just you venting about how much our lives suck now. You did say your friend's problems would look like nothing in comparison to yours, and you were right. Your work theology wrote on all that's happened, which exposed all the fake friends, family, and fans you had in your life. Now no one can read it without feeling sad, and I'm no exception. Every day I'm living in fear for your life, just waiting for a text or a call to confirm it. I know you're getting my calls, so please call me back. We can share this burden together. At this point, all you have left is me and God. We'll share this grief and the little bit of joy we can create. Even just a message react or an emoji reply would be fine as long as I know you're there and thinking of me too. I know you're still in contact with your friends, and you've called him multiple times worrying about him while not even noticing your own demise. By helping him, you're hurting us, so please, Abe, stop putting his reputation in front of your own. We're in our own pile of shit, and our relationship is more important than your friendship with him. We don't need to argue about how dedicated to this relationship you are, because if you're being for real, then the facts will speak for themselves. A lot of your students are still out and about, thriving in their fields. You planted the seeds of knowledge in all of us, and we are all blooming and growing. What about you, though? While you've been so focused on everyone else, you should have been focusing on yourself. You put so much effort into challenges. You put so much effort and emphasis on your disruptive students, you forget to praise those who are doing well. While you waste so much effort on your enemies, consider what you owe back to the community. But before anything else, think about what you owe me as your wife. When I was in prison for the first time, everyone knew how to console me, and yet not once did you call, come visit, send me a letter, and yet my love for you never faltered. You know best of all how much I've lost since we were both put on house arrest, since it robbed me of you, and this pain somehow hurts worse than this punishment. You're the cause of my pain, but you're also the only answer. You have the power to make me sad, to make me happy, or to console me, and you owe it all to me now when I followed your every command. I changed everything about myself to show you that my body and my heart belong to you. I never wanted anything from you but you alone. Not your money or what you have, but you yourself. I never wanted a marriage or prenup, or I never had selfish intentions. Literally, all I wanted was you. The name of wife has advantages in terms of finances and legal matters, but I'll always prefer to be called your lover. Or, if your dignity can bear it, your little slut. But, do you think I debased myself to earn your gratitude and preserve your reputation? You weren't playing dumb when you messaged your friend and told him some of my points as to why I tried to dissuade you from this marriage and our messy love life. You did keep my reasons why I prefer love over marriage a secret, though. Literally, on God, if Jason Momoa asked me to be his wife and rule the world with him, I'd still take being your whore any day. Here's the blessed delusion married couples have, where they think their love life is perfect because they think their love is in the most pure form. But I can tell you now that my love is far from any delusion. Are there any universities, embassies, or other scholars whose renown could rival yours? Has there been an event where the audience wasn't boiling with excitement just to see you? Have there been any women who haven't lusted over you? Are there any women who don't envy me for getting to be the girl under you at night? Those two things, your mind and your heart, can win the heart of anyone. You have a beautiful voice and a gift for songwriting, which isn't common among other scholars. People loved your songs and they continue singing them. It's just so weird to know that the songs you wrote were about our love life. And because of this, jealousy from women all over the world has been building up against me. And so, do you think, of all the women who envied me, does a single one feel compassion for me now that we're separated? Is there anyone who has not switched from hatred to pity at our story? As you know, I'm both entirely at fault and also entirely innocent. The blame isn't on the action, but on the person. However, justice is not the action, but what's in our hearts. My heart has always been on yours. Everything I've done has been for your sake. So you alone can judge me, and I give you permission to. But let me ask you one thing. Since entering house arrest, you decided you wouldn't talk to me, text me, nothing. So now I have to ask what everyone else has been asking. Were you just in this for the sex? Like, do I mean nothing to you? It would be different if only I knew you weren't talking, but literally everyone has noticed, and I can't keep defending you. Okay. Like I said at the beginning of this long-ass message, just please give me a reply. Literally anything. I have always done everything you asked, and I continue to be faithful to you. If this was all for nothing, and I deserve nothing from you, then you can tell me how all of this work I've put into this relationship was wasted. I'm sure as hell not getting a reward from God, since it's clear my actions were not done out of love for Him, but I followed you as you went off on that path of life. I take that back. I went first while you hesitated. You doubted me, which was so embarrassing, and it filled me with grief and shame. I would have followed you to the ends of the earth, and if you would have told me to jump first, I would have without hesitation. My heart has always belonged to you, but since it's no longer with you, it's nowhere, since it cannot exist without you. Please call me back. I'm not as strong as you think I am. Like it seems like the better off you think I am, the less you pay attention to me, and I can't do this anymore. Think about all the things I've done for you and to you, either out of lust or love, and give me the love I deserve in return. You used to shower me with texts, calls, songs, photos, presents, and I'm begging you to be like that again. Okay. I'm done now. I'll just leave you with these brief words. Goodbye, my only one.
Hey, this is Eloise. I'm sorry I can't get to the phone right now, but if you could leave me your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
Hey, Louise. I hate that we're playing phone tag, but yeah, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I really wasn't trying to ignore you. I just kind of assumed you were fine in your solitude, since you've always been such a strong woman. But if you do feel like you need me to be calling and texting you all the time, just tell me, and I'll do that for you as long as God lets me. Right now, though, I'm glad to hear you've been so worried about me and sharing my pain. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers still, and hopefully we'll make it through this. I know with certainty how God prioritizes the prayers of women for their loved ones and wives for their husbands. The Apostle Paul tells us to pray without ceasing. We read that the Lord said to Moses, "Let me alone, that the wrath may be kindled." And to Jeremiah, "Do not pray for this people, and do not withstand me." And see that Paul himself is a witness that righteous prayers bridle his wrath, holding him back from releasing his rage against sinners as they deserve. The prophet Habakkuk once said to God, "When thou art angry, thou wilt remember mercy." I only wish the court judge could have heard all this and taken notes during our trial. They were more set on their stubbornness rather than true justice, scared of seeming weak if they're merciful, or to be seen as fake if they go back on something they said in haste, even though they can still correct it now with their actions. Some people remind me of Jephthah, who had made a foolish vow and more foolishly fulfilled it when he sacrificed his one and only daughter. But we Christians will sing along to the psalm, "Mercy and judgment I will sing to thee, O Lord." It is written that mercy is exalted above judgment, and justice without mercy is not justice at all. So taking this to heart, David granted the appeal to Abigail, Nabal's wife, and though he had sworn revenge against the men and his entire household, he showed mercy and broke his oath. In this way, he set prayer above justice, and what the husband had done wrong, the wife had wiped clean. This is an example, there is an example of this for you, my dear friend, a reassurance that if this woman's prayers achieve so much for one mere man, then your prayers for me can claim so much more from God. For surely God our Father loves his children more than David loved a woman. I hope all of this will call you to pray, and you and all your women's Bible study group, with greater confidence that God will keep me alive for you, Louise. The God through whom Paul tells us women received even their dead raised to life again. Throughout the Old Testament, well actually, the whole gospel itself really, you will find that the greatest miracles recorded there, like raising the dead, were all performed especially for women, either at their request or on their bodies. These dead were raised at the prayers of just a few, so your prayers then, with all the prayers of so many devout women, I know I'm going to make it through just fine. God loves the abstinence and self-restraint you all have dedicated to him, and in his love may be more inclined to hear your prayers with favor. We all know many Bible stories for whom miracles were performed for even those who weren't believers. Enough talk about your community, though, and let's focus on just you. I want to reassure you that I have no doubt that you are still favored by God, and so, with that power, you owe it to me to pray for me, and know it's acceptable to God. In Proverbs, it is written, "A diligent woman is a crown to her husband, and he that hath found a good wife hath found a good thing, and shall receive pleasure from the Lord." And again, house and riches are given by parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. And Ecclesiasticus, "Happy is the husband of a good wife, and the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the believing wife." So I ask of you to please keep me in your prayers. And should the Lord decide to deliver me into the hands of my enemies, or if I should fall victim to the temptations of the flesh without you with me, then I beg that my body be taken and buried in your yard, so that you can pray for me all the harder, since there is no better place for a Christian to be buried than among women devoted to Christ. Women tended to the burial of our Lord Jesus Christ, coming before and after, keeping watch of his grave and sobbing, as it is written, "Women sat at the tomb, weeping and lamenting the Lord." There they were able to take comfort, first when the angel came and announced the news of his resurrection, and when he appeared twice to the women and found them worthy, he let them touch his holy body with their hands. Above all else, I'm going to make one last request of you, that you and all the women you fellowship with be concerned not only for my physical safety, but for the salvation of my soul, and that the love you show for me, Louise, will show later when I am dead through prayers you'll offer in my name. Be safe, you and all your friends, and remember me not from our past, but through Christ now. Goodbye.